Microphone test 12317. This is audio test with barking dogs in the background. Welcome, friends. I think you should start every week playing Frozzlers online, joining the live game, having some fun, having some time to relax. Maybe you've had a long day at work because it's the beginning of the week. Welcome, friends. Of course, everybody hates Mondays. Start every week. I do myself. Joining the live game. In the evening, you have opportunity to unwind, relax, play an online game with friends. Join us for instant Frozzlers. Everybody hates Mondays. Start. Why not? I do myself, so do that. Joining the live game. So today you have opportunity to. I'm intending for it to be pretty quick, unless anybody is going to play with me. If you want instant Frozzlers game, why not? Web address on screen right now. Frozzlers.com. So today, in a moment, I'm going to be starting to play a game here. If you want to join, but what I want to discuss with you today. Instant Frozzlers starting Monday. Web address on if you come to play Frozzlers, you sign in, and then on top of it, in a moment, dashboard starting and what you do here is see nothing. What I want to have is critical failure going on. There you go. This just took a little longer than it normally does to play Frost. Scared. Looks like a bad internet connection like the dashboard today because look at this background image loading for such a long time. I hope the game is going to work critical. So basically, when you come to your dashboard, normally this a little longer than a charm. It's normally super fast. Scared. There's bad weather all across the eastern part of the United States, and I believe that's what might be affecting the state of the game or the state of the internet. Come to your dashboard of the studio where I live. But anyway, if you come here and click my game, they'll be able to. There's bad weather all across the eastern games, like the one I'm playing right now. That's so it's going to be affecting game with the state of the game or the state of the internet. Dashboard just joins. In the meantime, I want to talk about setting up the tournament because bad weather. My recent thoughts on the tournament are if we just make it the way I was intending to do this far, and my thoughts were, in the meantime, anybody can play, and at the end of the tournament period, the player with the most points wins the season. But that just makes it a lot of opportunity for people to cheat, and unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. And it's safe to assume that tournament will game the system and play multiple accounts, and a lot of opportunity for people to cheat. And unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world. If you this shows all of the games played here, and recent matches, play multiple accounts. Here's the global and leaderboard right now. A lot of opportunity for people to cheat. And so unfortunately, you can see we have some players joining in here. This shows all of the games played here. And my goal was initially send recent matches scores when the tournament begins. And right now, the player who ends up with most score at the end of the season wins the season and gets joining in here. But that introduces an opportunity for people to play multiple accounts, play against themselves on a different machine, and so on and so on. I won't go into detail because I don't want to encourage this type of behavior, but we all know that this is not so difficult to figure out. I used to play tournaments in a game called Axie Infinity Counts, and themselves, people would do crazy stuff. I won't go into detail because I don't want to encourage different behavior, but we all know one IP address, not setting up 20 screens, trying to game the system, win the season no matter what, game called unfairly gain advantage and up their scores. People would do crazy stuff, and even people that were coding Axie Infinity that were way more advanced coders than myself had trouble managing that, so they were trying to do, introduce some preventing measures, do different things to not let people do that. Even people take back the control and make sure everyone way more advanced one account than myself, a single IP address, had trouble managing, and they were not even they who are like, I'm not even 100 a coder of what these people are, and even they weren't able to contain this and make sure that they have a perfect system where no one will be able to cheat. And on the other hand, and they were not even managed. They who are like, this will lead to banning people that were not doing anything wrong, and even they were able to contain this. So make sure my thought for now is no one will be able to cheat, instead of having a constant leaderboard that calculates points of the managed season. Maybe we'll do the first banning season that we're not championship system, and even they were able to contain this. So make 32 players that creates 16 games in the first round. Whoever loses is eliminated. Whoever wins goes to the next round. And we could have 3 games per match. So like one match would be best of 3. 32 players actually have some 16 games in the first round. One game, it's not over yet. You can win the next 2 and still move forward. And all of these games, of course, would have 3 games per match. Public, so and like one match would be they like anyone could spectate have, so they would have to happen in front of everybody's eyes this way. There's no way you can cheat. If something goes wrong, if there's a glitch or whatever, and all of these investigate restarts the game public, but you're simply matched with a random other player that checks out as a real human player in front of everybody's eyes. There's no way you can cheat on the game system, glitch or whatever. So anyone can spectate the game once you lose in this best of 3. So if you lose the first 2 games matched with a random other player, let's say you win one, then you have one draw. Obviously, it always depends on the 3rd game. And it seems like a more fair approach for now, at least until once you lose this best of 3, become more sophisticated and have some coding ability. You win one, then you take care of this one draw. Obviously, you know, and prevent people from cheating. Seems like a more fair approach for now. So those are my thoughts for now. If you're watching this video after the live, and share some coding ability, you win one, then you take care of this one draw. What this sounds like to you, if you think this is the best way. Seems like a more fair approach for now. So those are my thoughts for now. Or if you think there's a better way to run an online tournament in a game like this. So I would love to hear back from you in the comments, and if you want to join this sound now to you, if you think Frozzlers.com, let me display this guys one more time. Or if you think there's a better way to run the open game tournament in a game play live right now, this slot is open waiting for a player. And if you want to watching this live, go ahead now and say hello in the chat, so I know you're here. And also you're most welcome to join this open game right now. If you think there's a better way to run the open game tournament in a game play live right now, it's open. So player comments, and if you want to watching this, as far as time management goes, there's never enough time in life to devote to projects like this, because I also have to work and make enough money to survive and pay my bills. If I didn't have my day job, I could devote all the time management goes, there's never enough time in the life to devote projects at all, because I also have to work. Therefore, my goal right now is to start the first season on December 1st. This will give me some time to add additional features to the game and build this up. There's never enough time in the life to the point where it's going to be. It already is. I think it is. My goal right now is to start the first season on December 1st. This will give me I actually try to be critical, self-critical a lot, and figure out, would I where, I mean, I like playing. That's where I'm going. It already is. I think it's addictive. My goal right now, I think it's a fun game to play. I actually, try to be critical, self-critical a lot. It makes you want to come back, because you feel like next time I'm going to do better. I mean, I like playing. That's where I'm going. It already is. I think it's addictive. My goal right now I think it's a fun game to play. I actually, and it's going to be self-critical. It makes you want to come back because I feel like next time I'm going to better. I mean, I like playing. It's already everything's addictive. I think it's going to be like fun game to play. I actually give them a lot of self-critical power. Makes you want to come back because this is a game of Frozzlers. I mean, I like playing. These stones, these game pieces, these pucks, or something that has a friction similar to a lot of real-life ice. And your goal is to get into this center zone. If you touch the center dot here, you're going to score 15 points. The Terminator right now made a crazy move, and you're going to end up with 5 for this piece. Ice. You also have your goal is to get obstacles here. Center zone. Here comes Alien. Alien is going to push me towards the center, so it's got 15 points. Terminator comes close. Terminator 10 scored crazy move, and you're going to end up with 5. So you have to avoid these obstacles. You have to bounce against them, but ultimately you have good aim, and you come up with good power. The ratio of power to the friction of the play area, so you can figure it out and get close to scoring. But the ultimate 15 points with aim, obviously, the more pucks you have towards the center while pushing opponents' pucks away from the center. Friction of this play area is when you have to win the game. So get close to scoring. I feel like this could be a really cool game for a tournament. Because there's many interesting techniques we can apply here. Sometimes one great shot can change the game completely, and you may be losing possession until the last shot of the game, or then turn the tables 100%, many 180 degrees, come back from behind and win the game. And you can also lose in a very similar way. And also some of it is luck, because I feel like you see these puck release areas are placed randomly around the board. So a lot depends on the placement and win the game, not from every position. And you can also lose one. You don't have a opportunity to score high points from every position, because it depends on the positions where you're placed on the board. So right now areas are placed randomly around the board. So a lot depends on the placement and game, not from every position. And you can also lose. You don't have a 10, but at least a 4 high points from the center. And as you can see, the AI players are kind of crazy. They often go just like with high force, chaotic movement, and sometimes it seems like their method, the madness, because they do end up with slightly better scores. They're not actually so extremely easy to win against, but most of the time they just apply a lot of power and kind of go a little bit chaotic. And sometimes it seems like their goal, like method, the madness, because they do end up with slightly better scores. They're not actually so extremely easy to win against. With careful planning and careful apply a lot of power and a little bit of skill. Sometimes look at this guy going absolutely insane. The madness. What did he achieve? Just pushed his 2 pucks out of the scoring zone. So that was so extremely easy to win against. I tried to program the AI to be a little smarter. That was not a bad skill. That kicked me away. This guy going absolutely Terminator soon going to be scoring 0 in these games. I tried to program the AI so that they are smarter than this, but I tried to program the AI to go smarter. They absolutely do not look like they know what they're doing. But it doesn't mean they're not going to get better programmed. The AI can still keep working on this and make sure they act a little smarter and are a little more precise in what they do. So far, I've been unsuccessful like making the AI really understand what the game is about. It doesn't mean they're not going to get to think about it, it's AI, right? It should be able to calculate absolutely perfect movements, bounce you out inside oblivion when they do, while scoring themselves really high scores, really understand. But it isn't so. It doesn't mean they're not trying to think about it, it's AI,
Does
right?
AI
To
really
be able to
understand
calculate
the
absolutely
game?
perfect. The answer was yes, but then you get this. I don't know where we are themselves. I'm gonna keep working on it and try to fix the AI players. In multiplayer or online games, there is no option right now to add AI players because of their but then you get stupidity. If they become better and pose the actual threat to the human players, although with this crazy move right now I'm sailing into nothing, and Alien has only 3 points less than myself, so I still win the game, but if they become better and pose the actual threat to the human players, although with this crazy move right now I'm sailing into nothing, but as I was saying, right now has 3 points less than myself, so there's no win the game, but they option to add AI players to the multiplayer online games. You can only do this by right now I'm not sailing into nothing, but as I was saying, right now has 3 points once I have more success with making there's no AI players will stay by option to add that AI players to the multiplayer online games so that they pose an actual challenge by right now I'm not sailing into nothing, but as I was saying, right now has once I have more success with making there's no AI players will stay by option to add that AI players to the multiplayer online games so that they pose an actual challenge by right now I'm not sailing into nothing, but as I was saying, right now has Alright, I think this was enough of a demonstration. I'm not worried that we have very low viewership on these games right now, on these live streams, because I haven't really started advertising this game to the wide public in any way. Once I start doing this, I know we're going to have some players joining more often. Viewership on this game will have games right now on these live streams will become more popular. I have absolutely no doubt about it. Once we start the first season, we should have a decent amount of players. So that's Frozzlers. Thank you guys for joining today. This was a quick live stream just to discuss some of these upcoming features that I'm still working on. If you go to the main Frozzlers website, we should have scroll down. You can join Discord. So that's Frozzlers. You can also see thank you guys for joining the live streams. Live, there should be this main one upcoming right here on the main spot. So I'll make sure it's there right after this live stream ends, and it will notify you of the next time and day when we're going to be live again, so you can join a live game spot and play with us on stream. Thanks for watching. Right after, see you soon.